There's always a new season of anime to catch up on. I still haven't finished One Piece, Hades 2 just came out, and I want to start watching Legends of the Galactic Heroes. And with all the stuff in the world that exists, I started to really just think about a single question. And that is, are long running works worth it? I think you may have experienced this before. You like a thing, whether it's manga, a video game, or a book series, and then you go to your friend and tell them, hey, you should get in on this. They ask you some questions, but then you start to explain how long it is. And then you can immediately tell that you lost them the moment you tell them the amount of volumes or the number of movies in the series. Sometimes you get it. Hey, One Piece has like 1,100 episodes, each being roughly 20 to 18 minutes long, or a book series might have 7 books. I personally know a couple of people that aren't receptive to long-form media. There might be some aspect of modern medium consumption being quick nowadays, but I don't think a preference for short stuff is a new thing necessarily. It just might be more prevalent now. So for me, it just makes me wonder if all these long series are worth it. Now first, let's discuss the most important thing. Does length equal good? Not necessarily. There are plenty of long-running shows and books that are disliked. Now, does brevity equal quality? Not necessarily as well. There are benefits to making something long or short. Shorter works provide the opportunity to charge every single detail with importance and weight. A single word in a poem can carry more power than some paragraphs in an entire novel. However, longer works give the opportunity to not leave anything unsaid. The idea that a topic is truly explored, that there is nothing else to be said because you took the time to say it all. There are downsides and upsides to creating works of different length, but that is taking things from a creator's perspective. From a viewer or player, or consumer if you want to use that word, this is where things get specific. Everybody wants something differently, but it's undeniable that time is finite. We don't have time to experience every single piece of art or game or movie or book that has ever been created. Mix it up with normal life and responsibilities and people just don't have time to experience everything. I personally haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen or Frieren. These are 2 shows that I know I would love, but I'm reading One Piece, and I just got to Punk Hazard. I have no more summer vacations left, man. I got a job now. Long works are like mountains. You look at them from the bottom and make one of 2 decisions depending on who you are. Either it's, well damn, I guess I better get started with that, or fuck that. The decision that you make is dependent on your personality, or time, or commitment. Some people just don't like being tied down to one single work for a long period of time. They want to consume as much stuff as possible. In a way, long-form media is kind of like a glass of wine. You're not supposed to down it in one go. You're supposed to, take it easy, enjoy it, let it simmer. To me, there's no greater feeling of reaching the top of the mountain. But you have to ask yourself if you're happy about getting to experience a piece of art that was enjoyable, or if you're just happy because you caught up. If you're happy just because you arbitrarily decided to consume a piece of media, then I wouldn't consider that enjoyment necessarily. That should just be the icing on the cake, not the sole reason that you decided to get in on the good stuff. I personally like long works. I like looking at the mountain from the bottom and deciding to climb it. I like delving into fandoms and seeing what's new and what's so beloved. It also feels satisfying to chip away at something over a long period of time and finally finishing it after a while. That being said, most of the time I will drop something if it doesn't keep my attention. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses. If something isn't keeping your attention, then you really shouldn't keep watching it or keep trying to consume it. Bashing your head against something isn't a good idea. So why are long works so revered? One Piece is often likened to a modern Iliad. It is nicknamed Oda's Odyssey. Others may call that an exaggeration, but Oda has been working on One Piece for more than 20 years, just how long epic tales were built upon by communities for a long period of time. Obviously, for some epic tales, it was a civilization that built it over hundreds of years, but a single person working on one thing for 20 years, that's kind of like a quarter of a lifespan. It would simply be reductive to say, yeah, he just made something really long. The creation of One Piece is a testament to sort of dedication to something. That one creator was able and willing to write something for so long. Of course, length doesn't just mean physical length as in 1,000 volumes or 7 books, but it also factors into time. For example, Stephen King's Dark Tower series took him 42 years to write. The 42 years isn't representative of him constantly working on the same series for that much time. He often took breaks in between. However, one of his fans on her deathbed wanted to know King's ending. She wrote to him asking him to tell her the ending and saying that she was willing to take it to her grave. I think this fan describes something that long works naturally bring when they persist for such a long time. They incite devotion. Now someone will come in and say, hey, I read this book, or I played this short game, or looked at a painting and it changed my life. It became a part of me and it didn't take a month to catch up on it. And it's true that brevity can be powerful, but there's a difference. Short works leave an impact on your life, while long works can become your life. They can completely encapsulate it. In the sense, you may owe relationships or career decisions to long-running series. Fans may love something so much that it completely represents more than just the thing they like. It becomes a part of themselves, something that they may even pass down to their children. Now, this devotion can be a negative. People sometimes take things very seriously when it comes to something they love. There are many examples of fandoms going rabid because someone was dissatisfied with the work that they held so dear. In these cases, though, the thing that they are a fan of is inconsequential. People who are willing to commit crimes or send death threats because someone tarnished their favorite thing are people who probably already had things going on and they use their favorite piece of media as an unhealthy coping mechanism. But true devotion, the love for something that has been with you all this time, it's a real thing and it can be very powerful. I think that's ultimately the answer. Fans associate their favorite series with entire periods of their lives. Whether it's something you first experienced in high school, college, or the first time you have your first real job. Long-running series are pieces of art that reward devotion, and when the ending does finally come, it's like saying that goodbye to an old friend. When you look back at all the people you shared this story with, whether it's a community online, or friends that you know in real life, or people at a convention, it makes the whole journey worth it, because you didn't just read 7 books or watch 23 movies. You built a community. You were a part of something, and it makes the whole journey worth it.